Hey, great evening, everybody. Come on in the room. You already know what tonight is. It is the She's More Now Connectional resource. And listen, I promise you, you want to make sure that you tune in, grab a family member, grab a sister girl, come on in the room, say hello as you're coming in the room. Because I promise you, this information that you will receive tonight is something that not only you need, but everybody connected to you needs. So come on in the room. I'm going to share this as you're coming in the room. Say hello. Hope your day has been amazing. I'm going to share this. Great evening. Great evening. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Maurice. Hey, Najee. How are you? Hi. Hey, everybody. Come on in the room. I have just shared this to my page. And listen, I understand that we're always talking about overcoming in the area of our mind. We're overcoming in the healing of our hearts, overcoming everywhere. But listen, sometimes we have a difficult time addressing the fact that we need to overcome in the areas of our finances. Hey, how are you? Some of us are shouting and dancing. We falling out. We speaking in tongues and everything. And some of us are struggling in the area of our finances. But listen, God has sent us knowledge and he sent us wisdom in every area of our life. And so as I am the more pusher, I am Dr. Shavonna Whitehead. I always push you for your more. And that means more in every area of your life. And so one of those things that sometimes get dropped because we get uncomfortable is our money. Yes, because some of us wearing more than what we save. Hey, cousin Janice, how are you? Some of us wear more than what we save. Some of us driving more than what we save. Some of us, we ain't got life insurance policy. Some of us, we don't got no savings. Okay. It's a tight subject, but I want to make sure, as you always know, She's More Now Connectional resource is about making sure that we connect you to the jewels in the kingdom of God that can help us in every area of our life. Why? Because one person can't do it by themselves. God has given us all gifts so that we can actually share with one another. And so listen, I have an amazing gift tonight. And before I bring her on, if you have not already went to the website, www.shavonnawhitehead.com and subscribe to our Phoenix newsletter, you are missing out. Make sure you go to the website, www.shavonnawhitehead.com, click that subscribe button, subscribe to our newsletter. And guess what? Every 2 weeks, we send you some power. We send you some highlights. We send you some nuggets. We were just talking about healing takes intentionality. So listen, as we're healing in our mind, bodies, and spirits, come on, let's gather together and heal in our money. I don't know about you, but I promise that my family, we're going to be wealthy. We're going to be wealthy, and that's wealthy in every area. So my guest today is none other than Jovan Jackson. I'm about to bring her to the screen. I want you guys to welcome her. Put in the comment section, say welcome, Jovan. Welcome to the She's More Now Connectional resource. Listen, I want you to grab an ink pen. I want you to grab your notepad. You already know. She's gonna drop some jewels on us tonight that might make your head spin a little bit, might even make you feel uncomfortable. But I promise you, by the time she finished talking tonight, you're going to feel better, or at least ignited to learn more about how to make your finances better. Listen, we can't change it in 30 minutes. I'm let you know, we can't change it. We can't flip it. But what we can do is ignite the flame underneath of you so that you can want and desire to be better in the area of finance. And so I want you to welcome her, receive from her. Listen, as I always tell y'all, I got my pen, I got my pad. Let's all learn, let's stretch, and let's grow together. Jovan, I turn it over to you. And listen, if you have any questions, just type them in the comment section, and we're going to have a Q&A as soon as she finishes presenting to us the wealth of wisdom concerning our finances. Receive Jovan Walker Jackson at this time.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Vaughn. Thank you so much. And hello, good evening to the entire Connector family. She's More community. I am so ecstatic. I don't see myself. I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but if hopefully everybody else can see me. Let me just do a check before before I get to going and nobody can see me. Uh, I can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am. They can see you.
Oh, they can see. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Okay,
Yes,
wonderful.
ma'am.
All right, good. So, yes, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all so much for just tuning in. And thank you, Dr. Vaughn, for inviting me. It is such a pleasure to be here with you. What I love about Dr. Vaughn, guys, she's very professional, guys. She is sharp as a tack. But what I can tell you guys about this leader, this visionary, is that she is not just out here preaching and teaching, but she is doing this. Like, I've had an opportunity to consult with her personally, and she is walking in, not just preaching and teaching these things about abundance and being more, but she is really living it. So I gotta salute you, Queen, because you are a do it first leader, meaning what you tell others to do, you are doing it or have done it yourself. And I applaud you for that. And I appreciate you for that, especially being a part of the body of Christ in the kingdom of God. So let's jump on in, guys. I'm assuming everybody can see my screen. Dr. Vaughn is going to get us connected where we can see the screen. Just want to give you just a quick tidbit. Because of my licenses, I got to put some disclaimers out here. Just know that everything that we do talk about today is general in nature. I don't want you to take anything as I share tonight as tax advice or investment advice, because I could not in any way give any advice without knowing your individual situation. Okay, and so just accept all of this as general in nature, and then of course we'll have an opportunity to meet one-on-one, and then I can give you some specific advice. Okay, so now the legality is out the way. So some of you are probably saying, well, who is Dr. Jovan Jackson? Right? I trust Dr. Vaughn, but I never heard of this woman. Who is she? Well, let me tell you just a little bit about me. First and foremost, I am a woman of faith. I'm a student of the Bible as well. I believe in studying. Just like I study my craft, I study my faith. And you can see some of these logos here kind of just represent a little bit about my professional journey. But before I even get into that, after being a woman of faith, I'm a mom and I'm a wife. And so you can see a picture of my beautiful family there, and they're here, guys. So listen, we living in the real times. You might hear a little one, and that little one, she's a little bigger than that now. She's actually 3, okay? And so she's running around here doing what she does. And so you all might hear. So just let you know that we living in real times. Like, this is all the way live. But that's my beautiful family, my amazing husband and partner, Deacon Lawrence Jackson, and he's holding down the fort right now so that I'm able to do what I do, right? And so, again, just a little bit about my professional journey. I am been an entrepreneur for over 15 years now. And so I started out in corporate America. Well, first I started out after graduating from high school. I'm a Western dove, for any doves that might be out there from the Baltimore, Maryland area. I'm a dove. You see that sign there. And also my doctorate came from Global Opus Dei Seminary and University. But right now I sit as the founder and the CEO of Good News Financial and Investment Advisors. And we are a registered investment advisor in the state of Maryland. And prior to that, after getting out of high school, I went into the Army and a part of the U.S. Military Intelligence Corps. And that ended up actually leading me into corporate America as a contractor for the government. And I worked at the NSA there and held all the big top secret clearances and all of that good stuff. And then from there, that's when my entrepreneurial journey began. I started out as an investor, started investing in real estate. And then real estate led me to get my real estate license. And then from there, it was the real estate working as a realtor that I fell in love with the process of helping people prepare themselves for home ownership, right? And that's what actually led me into financial services. So right after that, I affiliated with my insurance firm, Affordable Benefit Solutions, which I am still affiliated with them. And then a couple of years ago, I decided to start my own investment firm, Good News Financial. So that's my professional journey. Pretty much been the same thing. Like I figured out my gift early on as a child, and I've been running that gift. Finances is pretty much all I've done. Everything and anything that's dealing with wealth generation and finances, that's been my lane. And so just a little fun stuff about me. I love crafting. Crafting is my therapy. Okay, most people don't know, on the side, not as a hobby, not as a business. I like to do little things, right? Craft and make centerpieces and door wreaths and those things. It just really helps me to relax. And my favorite sport is horse racing. Horses is my spirit animal. And so that's a little bit about me. I'm also an author. I'll tell you a little bit more about that as well. A survivor. I'm a teacher, a mentor, and a friend, all with a mission to bring good news and assist as many families as possible to become their own banks, build safe and secure retirements and legacies for generation. That's my mission. Then I have a personal mission, and that is to live a life of significance and impact and earn as many heavenly crowns as possible. I know Dr. Vaughn knows about those crowns, and many of you who are students of the Bible, it's more than just being saved, right? It's about earning crowns, so we have rank in heaven, right? And so that's my personal mission. And so as a fiduciary advisor, guys, I typically work with career professionals and entrepreneurs, providing plans to reduce their taxes, eliminate their debt, and be their own bank so that they can save more and generate more income in retirement. So that's what I pretty much do professionally. Now, here's my promise to you all tonight. I promise, you hear me talk about these licenses and all of this stuff that I've done. I promise tonight presentation is going to be very simple. I'm going to keep it simple. That's what KISS stands for. Keep it simple, right? It's not going to be technical or overwhelming. And I promise you that you will leave with some ideas on where to start making mental shifts financially, and then tools that will accelerate your process of overcoming to overcame. That's my goal tonight for you all. Okay. And so just before I get into this, I tell you queens and kings out there are obviously really serious about overcoming and becoming all that God has created for you. And I want to definitely acknowledge you for that, because most people, they never really take the time to educate themselves and invest in themselves the way you guys are doing right now. And so out of all the lives that's going on, you are tuned into this one, and you've made the commitment to do this today. And that's why I know I am talking to the right people, and this live is especially designed for people like you who want to do what? Who want to see more, who want to be more, who want to do more, and who want to have more, and not lack of anything, especially financial resources, stop you from living the John 10:10 life. Y'all know what that's about? Jesus said, I came so that you will have life, and life more abundantly. So that's what we're going to be talking about, the abundant life. That's what the She's More organization is all about, that abundant life. And so I'm just so excited to be able to share with you all today. And just as a gift for you being here and spending the next few minutes with me, I'm going to give everybody a gift. I'm going to give everybody a copy of my book. It's called You Be the Bank: Finance Yourself to Wealth. So in this book, I talk about some amazing strategies, secrets that the wealthy have been using for years to get wealth. And I'm going to give all of you a copy of that. And so stick around to the end, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to access the book. Okay? And so just a little bit about me. I mentioned in my intro, you may have heard me say that I'm a survivor. And so typically what I mean by survivor is that I have survived just about every financial devastation that you all can think about. Okay. And for the sake of time, I just want to talk about, since we've been talking about the theme is overcoming, I want to start by just sharing a little bit of my story of how I have overcame, and how it's not just my professional credentials and all of that that qualifies me to be here before you, but my real personal life. And so one of my stories, because we all got a story, right? And I don't got time to give you all of it, but just one of my stories that I want to highlight for me started from me back in 2008. Prior to 2008, I was doing everything that I thought was right to do, right? Had a good job doing it, managing my finances well, making good decisions, buying real estate, and just making money and doing a lot of good things, right? Well, here comes 2007 and 2008. Y'all remember that, the real estate bust, right? So when that came, basically all the great things that I was doing got flipped upside down. So now this whole downward spiral started to happen. Basically, I lost 80% of my assets in a 6-month period or a year's time period during that time. And so at that point where I was, living this life, now things started to get real tight and real funny. So all of a sudden for me, I started to deal with some of real life issues that I know some of you can probably even relate to. Bankruptcy became real for me. Repossessions became real for me. Foreclosures became real. Those properties that I had bought and invested in, that I was flipping, some I was buying and hold, all of those, I ended up having to give some of those back. I was able to hold them to my primary residence, but it got really real for me real fast, okay? And so, of course, as many of you know, when your money get funny, guess what else starts getting funny? Family problems, right? Your relationship, right? So I was married at that time. And so then all of a sudden, that got funny. And so I remember this was Christmas time, December of 2010. I remember being on my grandmother's bed, and I was pregnant at the time. How about the last time my ex and I was together? I got pregnant. Okay. And now we're separated during this time. Okay. We're separated. I'm at my grandmother's house during the Christmas holiday. And I remember sitting on her bed, and I got a book. My colleague at the time had given me a book to read. And I read the book, and the book, had some information in there that sounded so familiar, where I was like, I've been exposed to this information. But after reading the book showed me, shared information with me that the person who shared the concept and the strategy with me, they didn't share with me. And I know many of you can relate to that, where you have been given information, but the information that you was given was missing some information. Okay. And so as I was reading the book, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know about this part. But the crazy part was that the information that I didn't know, had I known it back when I first got the information, my situation at that time could have been totally different. So of course I got sick to my stomach, because I'm like, man, had I known all of this, I would have made some different choices in my life, which meant my current result would have been something different. And so at that time, I allowed that despair. It motivated me to really become a messenger of good news. And that's what happened. That's at that point, I started sharing the information that I had learned in this book. The book was called Tax-Free Retirement by a guy named Patrick Kelly. And I started telling everybody that I knew all about these concepts. And then the lady who I was referring the people to, she said, Jovan, you should get your license. And so that's what I did. That's how I ended up into the financial services. I started sharing all of this good news. I became that messenger of good news, hence why my company is called Good News Financial and Investment Advisors, right? It was inspired by the Bible, right? The good news of the Bible, but it was also inspired by bringing the same thing, the good news, to the people. And so I have had to climb myself out of that hole, right? That had developed from me as a result of that situation from 2008 and that lack of information. I've had to overcome those dark seasons financially and take the information that I was teaching other people, right, and apply it to my own life. And so I wanted to share that because, again, this is about overcoming. And listen, yes, I have all the credentials that you need to qualify me, but I believe that it was my life experience that really qualifies me to let you guys to be able to confidently say that no matter what you have experienced or what you are currently experiencing, and in some things that we may talk about you haven't even experienced yet, you do have the power with the right information, the right resources, and the right action steps. You absolutely have the power to overcome them. So let's jump on in here and get this party going. So what's the first thing we got to do, guys? You know, we talking about overcoming. We talking about, you know, going to the next level, shifting that mindset. What's the first thing you got to do? You got to get mad. You got to get mad. And I know some of you saying like, what you mean get mad? That's a positive environment. Right? Well, here's what I mean by get mad. I mean get mad in the sense that you have to make a decision. Life has happened to you. It has happened to me and everybody who's watching me. Life has happened and it will happen. Okay, somebody passed away. You lost the income. For me, it was 2008, right? And then I have another story about the pandemic, right? You or someone close to you got sick. You know, pandemic came, your business slowed up. Life happened. But with all of these things happening or that have happened to you, you have to make a decision to be more. You have to make a decision to be more. This is what this whole platform is all about. All about you being more. Now, let me ask you something. Does any of this feel or sound familiar to you? You know you should have more to show for for the money that you make or the sacrifices that you make on a daily and weekly basis. Right? Can any of you relate to that? You know that you feel like you're making consistent payments on your student loans or all of your debt. Yet it doesn't really feel like the number is budget. Or perhaps you want to save more for retirement, but you feel like you don't really have enough to do so after the debt payments, the housing costs, childcare, and all the other expenses that we have. Or you feel like you're earning a nice salary, but you still feel like you just don't have enough to really take care of the basics. You just have enough to take care of the basics, right? You're not really living in the overflow. Okay. Or perhaps you may feel like, Jovan, I really feel like I want to travel more and I really want to enjoy life, but people are telling you that that's not the responsible thing to do with your money. Can anybody relate to that? Or or maybe you are current. Maybe you kind of got a handle on everything. You paying your bills on time and all of that. And you may even be putting extra money on top of it, right? Because you may feel like you've finally got a hold of this thing, but you still would like to make that process move faster. Right? Or maybe you just feel like Uncle Sam is getting a lot more of your money than you do, right? If any of that sounds, put in the chat to me if you can relate to any of those situations or those circumstances. Can anybody relate to feeling in any kind of way related to any of those examples that I just gave you? And if the answer is yes, then listen, I want you to know that you are in the right place. And when we talk about being more, I want to created this acronym to really help us to see big picture, high level of what that looks like and what's that going to require. And the B is an acronym for becoming extraordinary. Why? Because you are peculiar. You weren't made to be ordinary and live this ordinary, mediocre life, just enough, just over broke. That's not for anybody who's listening to me tonight, a part of this community. You were made to be extraordinary. Now, of course, being extraordinary, that it's a process to that, right? You have to make some sacrifices. You're going to have to, it requires some discipline. It requires some practices that you do consistently on a daily basis. That's the first part of what being extraordinary is going to require. And so when we start to look at what the next part, the M, means, that pretty much stands for management. And I can't help but to use, the Bible as a point of reference to help me to illustrate what management, how important management is. Matthew 25:14, the parable of the talents, does a phenomenal job of helping us to understand what the principle of management is. God gave those servants all according to their abilities. Okay? One servant, he gave 5 talents. One servant, he gave 2 talents. And another servant, he gave 1 talent. And we know that each of them did something different with their talents. And after it was all said and done, the first 2 who took what God gave them and multiplied it, they were told, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. Therefore, you can enter in the joy of the Lord," right? That's what he told the first 2. And that now he's going to make them ruler over many things. Now, the last one who took what he gave them and didn't do anything but basically buried it because he was too afraid to lose it and didn't do anything, or he didn't do anything with it and came back and returned to God what exactly he gave him. Y'all realize he told him something different. He basically told him, he called him wicked and slothful. You could have at least, he said, put it with the exchangers and earn some interest. So now he says, further down in the text, he basically says, now take what has been given to him, the one who did nothing with it, and give it to the other 2 people, the one who had the 10 and the other one who had the 5, and then cast him out into darkness. And so what that means for us is that applies to us, that we have to take the resources that has been provided to us, whether through our jobs, through our businesses, inheritances, whatever it is, and we have to make it work for us. Because here's what I want you all to understand. Money is made, right? We're clear. We know how to make money. Money is made, money is managed, and then money is multiplied. And that text, that scriptural text, shows us exactly the expectation is that we're not just supposed to make the money, but we're supposed to manage it, and then we're supposed to multiply it. Now, I get that, or what I want you all to see is that I know that when we get money, all of that money don't belong to us. Some of it belongs to our lifestyle, right? Some of it belongs to the old you, because the 30 and the 40-year-old you has to take care of the 70 and 80-year-old you, right? You do that today. So that's the future you. Then you got your obligations, and then you got taxes, right? So it's a process to managing and charitable giving, right? It's a process that you need to manage in order to make sure everything is taken care of. That's what good stewardship is all about. The ultimate goal, right, is that you're saving to invest to earn interest. That's what Matthew 25 teaches us. So that's what the M stands for. Let me kind of show you real quick with an example. Has anybody ever heard of the rule of 72? Has anybody heard? Let's talk about, let me help you guys understand multiplication. Who has heard of the rule of 72? Okay, I can't see the chat, but I'm assuming that maybe somebody's putting something in there, okay? Well, if you don't know, here's what it means. The rule of 72 is just a term used to describe a method of calculations, how you can calculate how long it will take for your money to double. So when we look at this example here, when we look at, if you had $10,000, if you have an interest rate of 3%, you take that 3% divided by 22, that means 24 years that you would take your money, that it would take for your money to double. So how many 24 years do we all have? So what if we had a higher interest rate? We had a 6% interest rate. If we take that 6 and divide that by 72, then that means it'll take our money 12 years to double. Okay, so now that 10 will become 20 and 12 years versus 24 years. Now, of course, if we had an even higher interest rate, 12 divided by 72, that means our money will double every 6 years. This is how you determine how long it will take your money to double. Okay, I'm just going to move along because I don't want to, for the sake of time. But it's so important that we really understand compound interest so that we're not just paying compound interest, because that's what we're doing with all our debt, but that we start to earn compound interest. Now we're able to turn the tables. And so that's what my brand, I Am the Bank, is all about. I didn't make it up, guys. I got it from the Bible. You understand. Now you understand how money grows and compounds, then you can be what God said you are in Deuteronomy 28:12-13. I am the head, I'm not the tail. I'm above, I'm not beneath. You are a lender and not a borrower. That's what I Am the Bank is all about. No longer being just a saver or a spender. Because you know it's a difference between being a saver. A saver is just somebody who saves up all of their money, and then when they're ready to buy something, they spend it all. Now you're back at the zero line. You got to start all over again. Saving, and then till you find something to buy, and then you spend it. Now, a spender does a little bit opposite. A spender, they spend first, and then they take year after year after year to pay back what they spent. And usually they pay it back with interest. Then they pay it off, and then guess what happens? They decide to buy something else, and then they charge it back up again. And then we just kind of repeat this cycle over and over. Either we're saving and spending, coming back down to the zero line, or we're spending and paying back and coming back to the zero line and doing it over again. And we just kind of repeating this cycle. And so now what we want to do is we want to position ourselves to be the bank and do exactly like the bank does. How would you all like to be the bank? Put in the chat for me if you want to be the bank, if you're ready to be the bank, you're tired of being a saver or a spender, a creditor, and you're ready to be the bank. And so what does the bank do? They basically use our dollars to make more dollars. Every dollar that we put in the bank, do you realize that the bank makes $7 for every dollar that we put in the bank? So look at this example. You put $10,000 in the bank. The bank may give you a 1% interest rate on that money you put in there. Turn around the very next day, go back into the bank. Now you go in to borrow $10,000. What kind of interest rate are they going to charge you? Well, it depends, right? You might get 10%, you might get 29%, you might get 4%. It just kind of depends. So what they're doing is they take the money we put in the bank, and then they lend it out at least 7 times to 7 different people at 7 different interest rates, earning money on the money we put in the bank. Now, what if we did the same thing? What if we can take the money that we have invested and now give our $1 2 jobs? At least 2. If we can just get 2 jobs out of the $1, the bank's giving 7. But if we can do at least give that $1 2 jobs and start now creating compound interest for ourselves versus paying interest for ourselves, paying interest to the banks and making their families rich. That's what the whole being your own bank concept is all about. We have to position ourselves so that we are the lender and not the borrower. All right, let me keep this train moving. Put some ones in the chat if you're picking down what I'm putting up. But if you're picking up what I'm putting down, does this make sense for you? Put some ones. Let me know if you guys are with me, Dr. Vaughn, or let me know if you guys are following me. But let's go on, keep it moving for the sake of time. The O stands for organization. Guys, in order to go to the next level, you got to get organized. Clarity can only exist where there is no overwhelm. That next level is going to require you to get organized. You have to know where you are before you can move forward to where you're going, right? If I ask some of you today, right now, what's your financial number? Many of you probably won't even know where to start. First of all, let me tell you what's your financial number. Well, this is the number that it takes for you to live a comfortable and enjoyable life. What is that number on a monthly basis? Is it $2,000 a month? Is it $2,500? Is it $5,000? Is it $10,000? Is it $20,000? What's that number? What's your financial number? Or if I ask you, how much do you have in your retirement account? Who can honestly say they know exactly how much they have in their retirement account right now? Most people, they haven't looked at the statement since last year. They don't know what's going on. So to be more, guys, you got to know your numbers. You have to know where you are, and that's going to take you absolutely getting organized. One of the things that I created, because I realized that most people, they never open up their retirement accounts. They never have their annual reviews with their insurance advisors and their financial advisors. They're not keeping track of their monthly expenses, aka a budget. Y'all ain't doing a lot of that. I already know. And it's okay, right? So what I did, I developed this planner, this monthly financial planner, to help you to manage, track, and organize all of your finances all in one place. Instead of you having a drawer over here with statements and a drawer over there, and you got stuff here and stuff everywhere, you can manage everything in one space. Your debts, your budget, your investments, your savings plan. You can set your goals each and every month, along with the task that's required to accomplish them, all in one place. You can get a copy of that. Dr. Vaughn will drop in the links where you're able to get a copy of that if you're interested. That's a good tool that will help you to first and foremost get organized. All right. Now, the aura stands for research. Read. Y'all know this already. There's two reasons the people perished in the Bible: a lack of knowledge and a lack of vision. It's only three ways that you can expand your knowledge: the places that you go, these are your experiences; the things that you read, your personal study; and then the people that you meet. That's through transfer of knowledge, like people like me. I'm talking to you now and I'm giving you knowledge, right? Those are the three ways to expand your knowledge. It is going to take, we have to read and learn. A lot of the things that we're doing today, especially as it relates to our finances, we're doing because our parents did, or this is what our coworker. Oh, my coworker said they chose this investment, so I'm gonna choose that too. What you put down for your benefit? Oh, okay, I'm gonna put that down too. You ain't then read a thing. You don't have a clue, right? What's good for Bill is not good for you. Bill got a family with a wife and 4 kids. You a single person with no kids. Your information shouldn't be looking like Bill's. You can't make the selection that Bill made. So we have to take the time to really read and research. And here's what Alvin Toffler said: the illiterate of the 21st century, they will not be those who can't read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Let me let that sit there for a minute. It won't be the people who can't read and write, because all of y'all can read, but it's the people who, they're not, the things that you think you know. Will Rogers said it like this. He said, it's not what you don't know, but it's what you think you know that just ain't so. And so we have to take the time to unlearn, relearn, right? And then learn again. Okay. So I'm encouraging everybody to do the aura and read and research. Now, our good friend, Mr. Einstein, he said it like this. He said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. So we absolutely have to have the right mindset. That's what this community is all about, shifting our mindset, right? We got to get with someone who can guide you, someone who specializes in financial education. Listen, I'm availing myself to this community, but if you don't connect with me, connect with somebody, right? Connect with somebody like me who have no emotional attachments to your financial behaviors, right? Someone who can actually, who's a fiduciary, right? Because we're held accountable to have your best interests before their own. That's what fiduciaries, that's the difference between a fiduciary advisor versus a non-fiduciary advisor, right? Get with somebody who can absolutely help you to see things differently. You're in the frame, and sometimes when you're in the frame, you can't see the picture. Okay. So absolutely taking that as a very next and crucial step. And then the last one is E. The E stands for execute. So as you're learning and growing, right, at this point, it's time to execute. And I want to, for the sake of time, want you all to understand that there is a time value when it comes to money. A lot of times we say, well, I want to wait until I get closer, to start saving. I'm going to wait till I make more money. I'm going to wait till I get a better job. I'm going to wait till my business start doing this. But the longer you wait, the more it'll cost you to get to your goal. So that 25-year-old today, if they want to reach $500,000 at 25 years old, it only cost them $189 a month a month, right? Between now and age 65. By the time they get age 65, they will have 500,000 by just saving $189 a month. Now, if you're 40, you don't have as much time. Your time has just truncated. Now you got, instead of 40 years, you got 25 years. So now that 189 that they needed to save, now it's going to cost you $614 because you truncated the time. You don't have as much time of compound interest to work in your favor. So now it's going to cost you $600 a month to accumulate 500,000 over the next 25 years. And then if you're 50, look at that. Now it costs you $1,500 a month because now you have a smaller window, 15 years. So does time matter? Yes, it matters. You got to take action, guys. You got to start taking action because guess what? Action changes things. That's what ACT stands for. Action changes things. So now, once you start executing, now we are becoming now, right? So that process of being, it requires action, movement, right? It requires those things. Now you are starting to see your savings account grow. Now you may start to see your balances start to decrease. Your credit score is starting to increase because you're taking action. You're taking the necessary steps to get to the next level. Your tax obligations are going down. You're not owing as much money to Uncle Sam and to IRS, right? Why? Because you started to implement those strategies that you read and you researched about. Now your business is profiting. Now once you start executing, now you are becoming. You're becoming that extraordinary person that you were designed to be, that you know you deserve to be, right? Now you're becoming that person because you took action. So when we put it all together, I'm just flying through for the sake of time. This is what it Be More is all about. It's about becoming extraordinary, right? First, making that decision to become extraordinary. And that's going to require you to manage your resources, being a good steward. It's going to require you to get organized, right? It's going to require you to be a student always, never stop learning and researching and learning, and make sure you're learning, because not all information is good information. Some of y'all, you go out there on YouTube University, and yes, you can learn a lot on YouTube, but YouTube could also lead you down a rabbit hole too. And you come out with what they call paralysis of analysis, because this person said do it this way, this person said do it that way, and you're so confused, you don't know what to do. Some of y'all probably put in the chat if you already feel information overload. How many of you have been felt like information overload? This person say do this. This person say buy this type of insurance, buy that type of insurance. Don't do it that way, right? So make sure that you get the right information. And the best way to get that is have a guide, someone to guide you down the right path. Because why? They've looked at your scenario, because everything is not for everybody. They looked at your individual situation and told you, okay, this is the path you need to be on. So go ahead and start researching this information because this makes the most sense for your situation. And then lastly, executing on the information that you've taken the time to learn. So as I come to a close, I promised you guys that I would give you all a free gift. Type in the chat and let me know if something made sense to you today. Something resonates. Let me know if something resonated with your situation, how you've been feeling about your wealth capacity and you being more financially. Let me know if I was on target, if I was able to bring you all some value. But the worst case scenario, if I wasn't, here's my last and final attempt to give you my free gift that I promised you. Okay? That's the least I could do, is give you something to take and research and read for yourself. In order to get my free gift, all you got to do is text the word freedom. Text the word freedom. Don't put the quotes in there. Just put the word freedom and text that number there. It's going to send you back a link to click on where you're able to put your information in, and this book will be emailed right into your inbox in the next 52 seconds. In 5.2 seconds, okay? From the time that you do that. And that will give you access to this book. Now, I believe in under promising and over delivering. So not only am I going to give you all a copy of my book, I'm also going to give you a bonus gift. And that's a guide to my debt-free guide, a guide that will show you how to get out of debt without I see the text is coming in. Thank you. A guide to get out of debt without sacrificing your lifestyle. I'm not one of those people who's going to tell you in order to get out of debt that you have to live a lifestyle where you're eating oodles and noodles and beans and rice. You can't buy your nice clothes and you put your good hats on. I want you to look good and feel good about yourself, okay? So when I teach you how to get out of debt, I'm not going to tell you that you can't still live a lifestyle. I'm going to show you how to still get out of debt without sacrificing your lifestyle, okay? So I'm going to give you that that guide as well, in addition to my book. And hopefully, if I fell short tonight, I'll make it up with those bonus gifts for you, okay? Now, if you also, I want to encourage you all to stay connected to me. Of course, as Dr. Vaughn said, I can't change your situation in 30 minutes. I can't. But I promise you, if you stay connected with me, then I provide bi-monthly information. Every 2 weeks, I send out some information through my newsletter. Dr. Vaughn is going to drop my links down there in the chat for you as well. Connect with me and opt in to get my bi-monthly newsletter that I send out. Oh, you guys are requesting the gifts. Bless you. And so also connect with me on LinkedIn as well. And of course, I'm on Facebook here. These are my business pages and things like that. Let's stay connected so that I can continue to educate you and usher you along this journey. All right, let me hurry up because I'm moving on. Dr. Vaughn has me on the time thread. Now, if you're really tired of going in circles, right? You're tired of setting those goals every year and setting these New Year resolutions. You're tired of starting the savings challenges, right? And then you fall off by next month. You done messed up. You done fell off the boat. And then you waiting all the way back to January to get focused again, right? You feel like you really should have more saved and invested, right? Because you know you make good money. You want to take those trips that we talked about and enjoy the finer things in life. If that's you, right? You're ready to go from overcoming to becoming, then I invite you all to meet with me one-on-one, right? For my You Be the Bank cash flow strategy session. And so there is where we're going to really look at your situation and put together a strategy to help you to get to where you're trying to go. Okay. Dr. Vaughn is going to drop a link. It's going to take you to a page like this. Is my calendar page, okay? And you're able to set a time on my calendar where we're going to absolutely go through, right, your situation. And here's what you can expect to get from that meeting with me, okay? From that meeting with me, you will be able to get clarity on your financial priorities so that you know what you should be focused on now. A lot of times we focusing on all the wrong things. We don't have the foundation set. We trying to do stuff that's at the top of the pyramid when you don't even have your foundation. So we're going to really help you to know where you should be focused in. I'm going to also introduce you to the personal economic model where you learn exactly how money works, but not just how money works from a general standpoint, but how your money works, okay, as it relates to your personal economic model. And then I'm going to provide you a financial assessment that will get you on track to reach your financial dreams and goals. That's what you can expect to receive from that one-on-one meeting with me. Okay. So once you go there to book it, it is going to request for you to do a booking fee. This lets me know that you're serious, right? Don't, you're not taking up space on my calendar with other people who I charge $150 an hour to meet with me. Okay. I'm not charging you guys $150 an hour. I'm not going to charge you anything, but I'm going to make sure that you're serious. And then once you show up and you do what you're supposed to do, I'll reimburse you. It's just to make sure that you're serious, because I only deal with people who are very serious, who have a lot of money, and they show up. Okay. So you will be refunded. Don't worry about that. But that's just to make sure, lets me know that you're serious. And here are some of the common concerns that people may have. You might say, I already have an advisor. Okay, good. Well, just like you have a doctor, when you sick and you get that diagnosis, you go get a second opinion from another doctor. That's all. We're just gonna make sure that you on track. And if we find some things that you might need to be doing that you haven't been doing, then you have that decision to make. Okay, that's okay. You might also feel like I don't have a lot of money saved up. Well, that's okay. Most people who have money, they didn't always have money saved up. You got to know how to save in order to save the money. Don't let that stop you. Okay. You may feel like this was a lot of information. I'm still confused. I understand it. I don't expect you to understand everything. I try to keep this as general and high level as possible. That's what that one-on-one meeting is. I'm able to slow it down and go at the pace that you need and make sure that all of your questions get answered. And then some of you might be saying, I just want to wait to get my stuff together before I meet with somebody. I want to tighten stuff up. I don't want nobody. Listen. First of all, when we talk about it's confidential, ain't nobody gonna ever know about it unless you tell them and not me, okay? But secondly, again, remember what Albert Einstein said. The same mind that got you in the situation can't get you out of the situation. So you ain't gonna be able to get it together. It ain't gonna never happen because we're dealing with that same mind. We need another new mind, okay? So throw all of that stuff out the window. Put your egos aside. All of that. It's nothing that you've experienced that I haven't already, right? So get the help, and I'm here to provide that help. All right. And so last but not least, we're going to open it up now for you guys to share some questions. I want to hear some of your aha moments. Was there anything that resonated with any of you? Did you commit to changing some things based off of what we talked about tonight? I want to hear about that. So I'm going to open the floor. I'm turning it back over to the good doctor. And thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I'm a little bit over time, but please forgive me. I'll make it up to you on the next one, I promise. But I will avail myself to make sure everybody's questions get answered tonight.
Not a problem at all. Listen, I told you all that she was going to drop a wealth of information on you. And as I promised you, listen, many of us, we take time to talk about healing from our past. We take time to talk about healing our hearts. We take time to, learn how to love ourselves again, this, and the third. And a lot of times we fail to realize that some of the damage that we have is in our pocket. Some of the damage that we have are in our finances. Some of the damage that we have is the misinformation we received about money, or, just the lack of the proper teaching about money. And we get a little tough. As you notice, normally we have a lot more people on here, but the topic about money, like she said, is sometimes you think if I don't have enough money, I can't do it. Or this is going to be too complex, or my family never had money. So therefore, we don't need to talk about money. We're just trying to make it from day to day. But let me help you understand something. I met with her. Let me tell you why. Because I never want to be in a place where I'm not building and expanding the wealth capacity of my family. I do not want to actually just not teach my children how to go from paycheck to paycheck. I want to teach them how to build wealth, how to be wealthy. They may never be millionaires, but they won't be broke.
I know that's
I'll
right.
say that, like, my children may never be millionaires, but I promise you, they will not be broke. Why? Because I'm taking the time to learn how to build wealth capacity. And listen, y'all, I don't care how old you are. Don't be ashamed. She's offering the information. She's offering the session. You could be 50, you could be 60. Guess what? I understand she showed us that chart. It may take a little bit more for you to get to, but listen, get something. Don't be ashamed that, oh, I done wasted this many years, because guess what? It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to learn something. And listen, when she gave that whole thing, manage, organize, read, and execute, manage, organize, read, execute, manage, organize, read, execute, manage, organize, read, execute. I want y'all to take that. Y'all know that more thing is a passion of mine. That's my acronym. More is my brand. That whole more thing, I want you to pull that out and really, she dropped the link. She's giving you a free copy of the book. She's giving you a free 30-minute session. She's giving you all of this along with the wealth of information that she dropped on us tonight. So listen, she's opened it up. We got a few minutes. If you got, we got 4 minutes left. If you got some questions, drop it. Even if she can't answer them now, trust me, she is very reachable. She's very approachable. She can answer your questions via inbox if it's short, or she can tell you, here go my link, sign up, and I can answer it in depth. But listen, don't pass up the opportunity or keep going through the cycles of misinformation and the cycles of being illiterate financially, because you don't have to. I just here on the She's More Now Connectional resource just connected you to the person that can help you. That's not my area. I tell you all the time, the reason why I do this connectional resource, all of us got our area. That's not my area. I'm the area of empowerment. I can help you break a box and shatter a ceiling out of this world. But when it comes to money, I just brought you the person that can help you with money. And y'all know I don't bring y'all anybody unless I know that I done tried them out. I already had mine. That's all right. Melissa said no questions, but she about to set her appointment. Janella said I am ready to be better financially. Ashara, what is there? Oh, this is a good question, Jovan. What is a quick advice that you would give for a college student? What is one nugget that you would give to a college student?
Whew. Don't be taking out all them loans. That's the first thing. Well, and then, get a strategy around it. I would definitely, of course, don't get sucked into, because this is where it all starts for a lot of people. A lot of their financial devastation starts in college. You accept all of those credit card applications. They prey on you in college. And so don't accept those college applications, because those credit applications, because you don't realize that that comes with a heavy price tag. So that would be the first thing. Do not put yourself in a position where, I know it get tight sometimes, but I think now we're in a time where you can be creative and you can generate some money easier than years ago when many of us didn't. A lot of these resources weren't available. I would definitely encourage you to connect with some entrepreneurial endeavors. Connect with Dr. Vaughn, because she has demonstrated what that looks like, even in a hybrid model, meaning she has a good job, right? But then she also got a good business on the side. So she can show you how you can make all of that work. We're not going to tell you to leave your job and to leave college, right? We're going to tell you that. But it's ways we're going to show you how you can generate this. So stay away from those credit applications and reduce the amount of those student loans. I know that those refunds, they look real attractive, but they come with a hefty price tag.
Yeah. Oh, I know about it. We ain't even going to testify. I have 3 degrees from 3 accredited institutions, 2 of them which happen to be HBCUs. So yeah, I got that. Yeah, I got that testimony of the loans. However, I mean, I don't regret anything as far as, like, I don't beat myself up.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known it, but Now that I know what to do, I know how to keep my children from doing it.
That's right.
I know how to keep my children from doing it now, but that's why I tell you, if you missed it and you're behind that ball a few years or whatever, don't beat yourself up. Don't get in the dark, but ask the questions that you need to. Ashar said, thank you. That was very helpful. She's a college student.
Okay.
And listen, ask the question, y'all. You don't know everything. I don't know everything. Dr. Jovan doesn't know everything. We are all still learning every day.
Every
It's
day.
okay. There's no dumb question.
Yep.
Ask your question and then seek somebody who really has the wealth of information to actually answer it. And so that's why I wanted to bring her on. Thank you so much, Jovan, for coming on and sharing with them. I'm so glad that people have already started sending you text messages, started signing up. Make sure you sign up for your consultation, your 30-minute consultation. Listen, see, Melissa said appointment schedule.
All right, Melissa.
Melissa is one of my mentees.
Okay.
And as I teach them all the time, like I said to them, I never tell them to do something I don't do.
Yes.
Because I don't believe in that do as I say, not as I do.
That's right.
I actually say do as I live.
That's right.
If I don't exhibit it, don't trust it, because obviously I didn't trust it.
You right.
And so
that's real.
Well, Nashay, Shay out. Nashay said I paid off my student loans last year. I'll text her after this one.
Okay.
I still got mine. Praise the Lord. No.
That's all right. Process. It's a process. You got a plan and you work in the plan. That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm. And so listen,
when you don't have a plan and you're not working anything, no progress.
That's right. So listen, y'all, hook up. Don't pass this opportunity by. Don't be like, I'll do it later.
Right.
Hook up with her. Let her talk to you. Hear what she has to say, and then go from there. So listen, I hope that you enjoyed this presentation, but most of all, that you have been transformed in your mindset. That's something that's been ignited in you to say, you know what? It's time to get my finances together. Right. And so make sure you have all of her links are in. I put them all in the chat. You have every last one of them. I put them in the chat. Connect with her, follow her, sign up for the newsletter, stay connected and everything. And trust me, you'll get a wealth of information. They're saying thank you so much. They appreciate all in the comments.
Thank you.
And as always, it's on my honor and privilege to always allow to present this platform to you for you to receive some type of information that you need to transform your life. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you head over to our website, www.ShavonnaWhitehead.com. Subscribe to our bi-weekly newsletter that comes out. And we promise you that we highlight businesses. We give you an impartation. We also give you some empowerment. So stay connected to both of us and listen. Most of all, stay connected to God and make sure you stay focused and be your best as you embrace your more. All right, you guys, everybody's saying thank you so much. And so stay connected and we will talk to you guys next time. All right. Have a great evening, everyone.